Legal action in a case about a fabricated hate crime. 3 black women claim that they were beaten on a bus in a racially motivated attack. But after police reviewed this surveillance video that you're watching right now, they determined not only was there no evidence of a hate crime, but the alleged victims were actually the aggressors. And now they could face charges for initiating the attack as well as lying to police about it. Our legal panel is here. Jonna Silvor is a criminal defense attorney and a former prosecutor, and Heather Hansen is a trial attorney. Thank you both for joining us.
Great to be here.
Well, it would seem that this case is pretty cut and dry. Heather, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I mean, there were 12 cameras on that bus, and in addition to the cameras, because one of the arguments that some people have made is you don't know what happened before the incident as it was caught on camera, and perhaps something sort of initiated this attack. But also, every single eyewitness had a consistent story, and that story said that these women were not the victims, but they were actually the aggressors. These women are in some serious trouble when it comes to these charges.
Jonna, how much trouble are they in?
Actually, not enough. Because here's the problem for me. It's deplorable to be a victim of a hate crime. The only thing more deplorable is to lie about being the victim of a hate crime. These women are only charged with misdemeanors on the false reporting and misdemeanors on the assault. The misdemeanor assault charge is probably proper. But why do we not punish people who lie about being the victim of a crime with at least the level of status that they're lying about? These women should be charged with felonies so that the punishment would fit the crime.
And what is the punishment that they could possibly get right now? A year?
About a year.
A year?
About a year.
They'll never see the inside of a jail cell.
But that is absolutely right. I mean, you can tell by what's going on right now that they're trying to negotiate some sort of a plea deal. But the problem is that, you know, people pick up this story and run with it. So not only the president of the university, but actually Hillary Clinton sort of assumed that this story is true. There's a reason, Heather, that we have investigations and we have discovery when it comes to legal institutional things. We want to make sure that people are actually guilty or at least should be tried for the things that they're doing.
But in the world of social media and Twitter and what, 140 characters or less, people are quick to make up their mind.
In the court of public opinion, you're not innocent until proven guilty. You're whatever. The story that gets out first, I suppose, and garners the most attention is what people will believe. And that's not the way it should be.
Once people have an opinion, they stick to it even when the evidence proves them wrong. So we really have to take more time to look into
these things. And it seems like the defense is going to use the videotape as well, because initially one of the attorneys at least has said, you know, don't pass judgment until you know the whole story.
That's true, but if they take this case to trial, as Heather mentioned, every single eyewitness supports the prosecution's theory of the case, they will probably lose. And what happens in New York, when you force a trial, even though it's not the way it should be, you force a trial, a judge is going to be much harsher on you when it comes to the sentencing phase than they are if you enter into a plea bargain, which is what I think they're trying to do right now, something that doesn't involve jail.
And what they should do, because look at the resources that have been wasted on this, the amount of money that's gone into the investigation, the amount of money that's gone into the multiple court hearings that they've already had. I mean, ultimately, this is something that should be pled out. This is something that the university should use as the opportunity to have some serious discussions about any race issues, because this type of thing is just absolutely unacceptable on a college campus or anywhere else.
What about implications for other cases?
Well, that's just it. I mean, look historically, when we have cases of false allegations, nothing happens to the person who made the false allegation. As far back as Kobe Bryant, fast forward to Duke lacrosse, and now here we are in a different circumstance, but it's the same thing. A false report is a false report. They should not get slapped on the hand. They should end up with misdemeanors on their record. That's never going to go away. And that's how it should be. We shouldn't reduce this to an ACD or something else, which is probably
because people, they just don't take it seriously.
Well, and the problem becomes, it's like the boy who cried wolf. Now all of a sudden somebody else says something similar and they're not going to be believed. And that's one of the biggest repercussions of something like this. It hurts everybody. It doesn't just hurt, you know, the people on the other side. It hurts the people who actually suffer from the thing that you've accused somebody of doing.
All right. Well, thank you both for joining us. We'll see what happens. And if they do a plea deal. All right.
We'll talk about that.
Thank you. Jonna, Heather, thank you.
I'm sure you will.